welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. To our viewers at home, when you think about your retirement plan, do you have a holistic retirement plan? What does that mean? And do you have the high five taken care of? That's what today's show is all about. We're going to start right now, getting right into it. Kristina, first of all, how are you today?
Fantastic. Great to be here with you always, my beautiful friend.
I feel the same way about you. I feel so blessed to be on set with you. Thank you so much. And Rob, how are you?
I'm great. I'm here with two of the most beautiful, smart, intelligent people that I know. It's wonderful to be here with both of you.
Thank you, Rob. That just made our whole day.
Yeah, you get a brownie.
Yay! Brownies are fun. The more chocolate, the better. So when we're talking to people that are coming into the office for the very first time and they're asking you about the holistic retirement plan, you both like to talk about making sure the high five is covered. What exactly is the high five? What are the high five elements?
Yes, so when you're talking about a holistic approach to retirement planning, you want to make sure that those main components are going to be there. So first off, we would want to talk about your income, and the taxes of the income would be number two. What is the risk tolerance inside of that portfolio? How much risk can you tolerate and still be able to have the retirement that you wish for if you lost money? What about protecting and preserving your assets? Last but not least, leaving a legacy. So those high five right there, and as we're having that conversation, where do we have some places that we can improve or make better? What are some things that are just not taken care of and we need to get started?
Is there one area that people are a little bit less likely to plan before they come in that they just don't think about?
Taxes.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, it's almost like people are just completely oblivious, and it's so scary because you retire, you know, taxes come out of your paycheck.
Right.
And then when you retire and you turn on a paycheck from your actual savings that you have accumulated over your working years, remember that only the post-tax money can be counted as income because you have to pay that tax. So if you don't have Uncle Sam factored in there, it's just not going to work out.
Absolutely. And obviously, when people are coming in to sit with you for having their retirement plan designed and drawn up, talking about it being holistically, it's a written plan. Rob, what are the elements that go into that planning process? What are some questions that you ask people?
Well, we're going to talk to you about your personal things in your home. So as you're planning on retirement, it seems like a lot of things will go wrong in retirement because you're using them more, whether it be washer and dryer, whether it be your HVAC system or your roof. But there's going to be projects that you need to do and take on when you retire. It's important that you have those out there in front of you and you're aware that those need to be done and actually how much they cost, because inflation has caused a lot of those things to be more expensive now than they were 5 years ago, a lot more expensive. So we ask those questions just to kind of pique your brain and get it moving in the right direction to tell us what you might need in the future.
Rob, thank you. We've been always told that we should be putting money into our 401ks, but could that be a tax time bomb, and why?
Yes, it is. And let's just be quite frank. Folks, retirement is all about income. I have a colleague that I just absolutely adore, and he makes this comment, income is the outcome, and I completely agree. I love saying something like that because I want you to realize that income is the most important thing. When we're shutting off the paycheck and turning on a paycheck from your life savings, those taxes must be accounted for, or you could lose 30 to 40%. What is the most tax efficient way to decumulate or to spend that money? What does that really look like?
Right. And the other question is, when it comes to RMDs, I know that's something that we're going to talk about as well. How does someone even know where to begin? What if they have multiple accounts? How do you help assess where they should start?
I had a lady come into my office and she said, I'm getting ready to be 59 and a half. When do I do my RMD? I'm like, it's not 59 and a half. It's okay. RMDs are required minimum distributions, folks. This is going to be from your qualified or pre-tax retirement accounts. So if you saved money in like a 401k, 403b, TSP, something like that, or a traditional IRA, you know that those taxes have to be paid eventually. Well, by the age of 73 right now, and by 2033 it'll be 75 years old, you must take that required minimum distribution or there's a 25% excise tax. So for example, if your RMD is $1,000 and you only take $900 of that, you would be penalized $25, so 25% on that last $100 that you didn't take.
Wow. And with asset preservation, Rob, let's talk a little bit about that. People that are actually thinking about passing on things to their loved ones. What does that process look like when they come into the office for the very first time and they say, I just really want to sit down with someone and talk about some of the things that I've accumulated? How do I get those into the proper hands?
And they don't even have to be something that's expensive, right? It's something sentimental. It could be as simple as a less expensive watch, or just something that is important to that person that he or she wants to make sure that a particular person gets. And if you get to talking with those folks and asking those questions, where do you want your legacy to go? How do you want it split up? And then you're trying to figure out, hey, are they going to need a trust? Are they going to need more? This is the reason why we ask you all of these questions. Where do you want it to go? What are your desires? It's not about us, it's about you. Where do you want all of your most important items of your life?
Thank you, Rob. Question is, we're talking about the high five, and I love that. When people are coming into the office for the very first time, for their very first consultation, how many of them already have the high five in place?
I haven't seen one yet.
Wow.
They might have a high 3 or 2. That's it.
Or a thumbs up?
Or a thumbs up, yeah. Some just going to fist bump you, so...
So what Rob was just talking about, the question you just asked, what does that mean to protect and preserve the assets? That is probably the number one thing that is not completely in order, besides taxes. Most taxes are not in order. People think that they have a tax plan and then they ask, how much taxes could I pay in my lifetime? Well, I don't know. You don't have a plan. That's the answer.
Yes.
But on the protecting and preserving the assets, the number one thing that I see completely derails a retirement plan is going to be health care. Please make sure that you have that in order. You've worked so hard for all of those assets, preserving them, preserving your wealth, whether it's your home, your retirement account, whatever it is, where you're putting those assets. Folks, if you don't have that protected, what did you work for?
It's very true. And obviously healthcare being so important, but even more important we've talked about is taxes, of course. And so you actually have powerfultaxbill.com. Spend some time talking a little bit about that and what benefit that is to the people that are clicking on it today for the first time.
I know that for most of you, you've jumped on the internet and searched for something. I was looking for dinosaur toys the other day for my grandson, then all of a sudden all these dino toys pulled up all over my phone. That's not what this tax bill calculator is going to do. Powerfultaxbill.com is going to send you to a link that is truly, truly holistic. Only Powerful Legacy. No one's going to bother you. Get on there and let's take a peek. Let's look into the future. What could those taxes be? And what could we do to make it better? We're not just going to tell you a big fat tax bill and scare you. We're going to also give you a solution. What would this look like if we have good, holistic tax planning? And what does that really mean to have that true tax planning? Well, it means sitting down and having a plan about the taxes. That's all that is. I get a lot of ping pong back and forth. CPA will say, go see your financial advisor. Financial advisor says, go see your CPA. If tax planning is not part of your plan, you don't have the plan.
And so if you don't have the entire high five together, do you have a retirement plan?
No.
Certainly not holistic.
No. And I hear a lot of people that say, well, legacy doesn't matter. I don't have that much. Well, for most of you that own your home, that's your first or second largest asset next to your retirement account. What if your legacy is, just a little bit of money in a checking and savings? That's still your legacy. You earned that. We want that to go where you want it to go.
Kristina, thank you so much. Rob, thank you. I know there's a very special message that you have for the viewers at home. Rob, what is that today?
Yes. So if you're worried about your high five, you're worried about one of those strategies in place that you know is not quite there, or you just have a suspicion that you might need help in several of those areas, we're here to help you with that. We're proud to give you a second review. It is completely confidential. It is very detailed, but we want to make sure that you're armed with the information that you deserve and you need. So a lot of these things that we're going to talk about more than likely not have been talked to you before about this particular topic. So it's okay. It's a conversation. It's us getting to know you. You need to know us. So give us a call, 877-893-5099. We would love to have you into our office and give you the plan that we feel you need.
Rob, thank you so much. Kristina, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the number to call, 877-893-5099. We opened today's show talking about the importance of having the high five things covered in your retirement planning. If you don't even have one of the elements covered, you don't really have a holistic retirement plan. Well, this is the opportunity to take advantage of that now by calling in to 877-893-5099. Or you can grab your smartphone, click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to the landing page of Your Powerful Legacy, and you can claim your time accordingly. Again, if you're curious about taxes and what those tax implications could be without changes made today, that website once again is powerfultaxbill.com. powerfultaxbill.com, completely confidential. That information is just for you to see. Once again, we're going to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back on Your Powerful Legacy with Kristina and Rob. Stay tuned.
Property and casualty insurance is how I really got started. I was supposed to go to law school and be an attorney, and I'm so glad I did not take that road. But when I think about what is it that really led me to honing in on this craft of retirement planning, my grandparents had a major loss back in 2008. I watched what happened with the market and how it affected their retirement plan, and they were not able to retire how and when they wanted to. It automatically just pushed me in a natural direction of trying to protect people in a whole other way. It's been something that I've been working on for several years. Anyone who is starting their own business has to be about halfway crazy because it is such a huge risk. I mean, you risk everything. And I went from having steady W-2 pay and benefits to now everything is on my shoulders and my son's pay because they were both with me opening the business and licensed agents as well. But having my boys alongside with me, that is the most amazing because our relationship is just tighter than ever, and I knew I wanted legacy to be inside of my business name because I want to leave that ultimate legacy.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. We're talking about the high five and a holistic retirement plan, how you need all 5 areas to be covered so that you can have peace of mind. I love this segment. We're going to talk a little bit about being holistic and what that means overall, but we know just for fueling our body, if you will, if you eat clean, if you take supplements, if you take very good care of yourself, that's a holistic way to live your life. And really, at the end of the day, wealth is health. How does that correlate into someone's retirement plan?
So you think about that, and you and I have this conversation on a regular basis. I mean, we both love that vegetarian lifestyle, and that seems to be better for us and better for our bodies. And when we're sitting down talking about a holistic approach, it's what is best for you. It is for your health is your wealth, but let's talk about how that ties into your retirement plan. So when we're talking about holistic, what is it that you truly need? And when we sit down and have the conversation about income, or we're talking about just those gaps in the income, first off, we know you're going to have income. That's just the way that it is inside of retirement. So as we break that down, what is coming in, like your Social Security, pension, whatever that is, what are the savings? And then what gap do we need to fill to make sure and meet your needs? As we're sitting down and having that conversation, folks, you need to remember we can only plan on money that is after tax. Just like when you get your paycheck at work, you don't receive the gross amount, you get the net after all those taxes and benefits are paid. It's the same thing in retirement. We have to take those taxes off that savings and go ahead and get that paid in. So holistically, what is the best approach for you to make your retirement plan most tax efficient? I love talking about that.
I do too, because obviously you're so passionate about that, and I just love listening to you, and Rob, you are as well. I want to ask you a quick question. When it comes to someone who's in the viewing audience right now and they're asking themselves, okay, what's a holistic firm? If I come in and I meet with Rob and Kristina, what can I expect to see that would be holistic? Why do I feel like that's going to be the avenue we take?
Sure. So if we look at it, what's the most important thing that we all have? And whether it's from a medication, a health standpoint, or a financial standpoint. The most important thing is time. We don't get any more of it. However, the better we live, the healthier we are. We could live a little bit longer. The living a little bit longer will translate into needing a little bit more money and being able to enjoy your family for much longer. We have family histories that we see all the time that their parents or grandparents have passed away in their 50s, and then they're expecting to die in their 50s or 60s. But people are living much longer. My grandfather passed away at 52, And my dad's almost 80, and he's still playing golf 5 days a week. He's in great shape. So it's important that we make sure that we don't run out of money in retirement. I think time is one of the key elements of that.
Is that still the number one fear?
Outliving your money?
Yes.
Yeah, I had this conversation with Dad the other day, and it made me a little bit sad because he just told me, he goes, I never expected to live this long. And he had this little sad voice that I never hear in his voice, because he's usually a very confident guy. And it's not that they're running out financially, they're doing good. But you could tell it's a big concern for him. And it's got to be a concern for many of the people that he is friends with.
Absolutely. Makes perfect sense. Kristina, how do you help alleviate some of those fears? Talk a little bit about the guardrails that you put up, if you will. When you're meeting with someone for the first time, you like to ask a lot of questions so that you can really understand the situation. And then you put things in place that will hedge against risk, inflation, healthcare. Talk about that process a little bit and being holistic.
Well, when we have the conversation about what you have saved, how to protect those assets, what is your risk tolerance, all of those items, I'm going to be quite frank with you folks. It doesn't really matter how much money you've saved. It matters how you spend the money. Sitting down and having a realistic conversation about what your budget is and what it is that you need. I personally don't like the B word, budget. I don't like that at all.
No.
That word does not exist in conjunction with grandchild, so we'll just get that one off the table right there.
This is true.
But when you're sitting down and talking about the budget, sometimes it's not fun because you're thinking, am I limited to this? Absolutely not. Let's talk about the fun things too. We just need to make sure that that's all going to come together. And I've had folks that have come in, a big fat binder, all these charts, graphs, all this crazy stuff, and they're like, can you just give me a second opinion on my plan? And I open it and I'm like, where's your plan? How much money are you supposed to spend? How much is coming out of your retirement savings and how much are the taxes going to be? None of that is inclusive. Okay, you have a basic punch and play will. What's really going to happen if you have a healthcare issue? I'm seeing so many people that think they have a plan. They don't even have a plan.
So they're just bringing in piles of statements?
Yeah. I've even seen a pillowcase dumped full of statements on my conference room table before. Here's my plan, and dumped it on the table. That's not at all a plan, and that's okay. But we'll get it together and at least let you know where you need to be on track.
And such an important thing to, when you're having the holistic plan, if you will, is to take a look actually at the different sources of income. How important is it, Kristina, to have a diversified income stream in retirement to be truly holistic, not putting all your eggs in one basket?
Well, when we're having the conversation about the income, the number one diversification that I do want to talk about is the tax diversification, okay? We're going to have money in that Wall Street bucket, your stocks, bonds, your mutual funds, your ETFs. We're going to make sure that that is allocated, it's balanced to where your risk tolerance is in check. What I'm really talking about are those taxes. So what amount of money are you willing to pay taxes on at today's dollars to make sure that you will have a tax-efficient plan later on down the road? For some of you, I'm not talking to you. I'm actually talking to you about your spouse because maybe your spouse is going to live longer. Rob's 5 years older than me. He's probably going to die first. Not that I'm trying to kill you, but probably going to die first. So we would need to easily plan the fact that one of these days, one Social Security check would be gone. It's time to pull a little bit more of the difference. What are the taxes on that going to be? What if I live to be 100? That would be awesome.
I hope
Yes,
you
it
do.
would.
I hope so. At least if I'm healthy.
Yes, absolutely, and you will be. You totally will be. There are the 3 financial phases. Can we spend some time talking about what the 3 financial phases are? Who wants to jump in on that one?
Yes, I love talking about those 3 financial phases. And this has been said in so many different ways. I've seen it like a ball field, like a mountain, whatever that may be. I like it more like a speedometer. So let's just say that you're in your working years right now. This is when you're in the contribution phase. You're accumulating funds, perhaps it's coming out of your paycheck, jumping into your group plan, your 401k. Well, you spend all of those years working and you're saving. Let's say you're getting a little bit closer to retirement, probably up into your 50s. It's time to start having the conversation about preservation or making sure that your assets are not going to run out too quickly. That's where we would have the conversation about your risk tolerance, getting that in check. Then it comes time for my favorite, decumulation, spending the money. That's exactly what we're talking about. You shut off your paycheck, you turn on your life savings. It's got to be done right because if you spend too much in the beginning or you don't get the taxes right, you don't calculate inflation, all of these important items, you could run out of money in retirement. That's what we want to help prevent for you.
And on that same note, Kristina, that you and Rob have a very special offer to present to the viewers at home. Talk about what that is before we take our next commercial break.
Yes, folks, I know that for some of you, you're out there thinking holistic. Is this just some type of a, granola situation where we're walking around barefoot in a grass skirt? That's not at all what I'm talking about. We're talking about a true what's best for you retirement approach. We do have a book, The Retirement Train. I'd love to offer you a complimentary copy of this. It's not for sale. Come by the Lexington or Louisville office and get one. We'd love to give this to you. If you come in for a complimentary review, you're going to get a complimentary copy of this book. I know that you're worried about your taxes. I know you're worried about healthcare. What about your legacy? Do you really even have a plan? We just named all those items. Are you missing something? Or do you just need a checkup? That's what we're offering. You're sitting here spending your time with us. We would love to bless you with some of our time and at least get you that information that I know you need.
Kristina, thank you so much. Rob, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, the number to call is on your screen, 877-893-5099. If you're in the viewing audience today and you're asking yourself, do I have a holistic plan for my retirement? Do I have all the 5 areas covered? If the answer is no, this is the perfect opportunity to call in, 877-893-5099. Or if you're rushing out the door and you don't have a pen handy, please grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That'll take you right to the landing page for your Powerful Legacy, and you can schedule your time accordingly. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We have viewer questions when we return.
The work never seems to end until the day it finally does. After nearly a lifetime on the job, you should be rewarded for all the time you spent working. Whether that's crossing off items on your bucket list, learning a new passion, or rekindling the love of an old one. After all, life isn't over when you stop working. It's the start of an all-new chapter, the one where you're the writer and you get to choose how your story will go. A way to achieve that is by having a clear financial plan to sustain your golden years. The biggest fear most retirees have is if they'll have enough money to maintain the lifestyle they've always enjoyed. Having a plan to help protect you against the curveballs life often throws will help to maintain your lifestyle. Call today to get your free written financial plan so you may live every day to the fullest and enjoy the retirement of your dreams.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, joined today by Kristina Kepperling and Rob Kepperling of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. We're talking all about the importance of having a holistic retirement plan, one that encompasses the top 5 elements that you need. But in this segment, we have viewer questions. I love this part of the show. Rob, this first question I would love to guide to you, if that would be okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. This says, I have an advisor and I really like them and I don't want to upset them. May I come in for a second set of eyes on my current strategy, and do they have to know?
Absolutely. If you come in and we take a look at everything that you have and we find out that your advisor has been doing the right thing for you, we're going to send you back to that advisor. If they're not doing quite enough for you, well, you know what? We're going to show you where we could improve. I don't think that that's going to cause any frustrations. But if they're doing something severely off, I don't think you're going to have a problem with going back and severing ties with your old advisors. I just don't think it's going to happen. So come in, talk to us. We're going to give you the information. We've promised to give it to you for no cost, and you don't have to do business with us if you don't want to. It's got to be a good fit.
And you're not going to call the advisor and say, guess what, Susie Smith was in today.
We're not.
Okay, good. Because she was, or he, I don't know, they didn't say, but concerned about that as well. Does the advisor need to know? I mean, that's always a fear, like, oh my gosh, am I cheating on my advisor? But
sometimes they do. What if the client wants you to call the advisor? I've done that before.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
We don't have a problem with that either.
No, because my client, her advisor was her brother. He was in another state, but it was her brother. And she's like, will you just call my brother and explain to him what it is that you're going to do and make sure that everything's good? I'm like, absolutely. We don't do the same thing. Not all of us do the same thing.
Exactly.
Some places only focus on wealth management, and that's okay. If that's what they do and they're really good at it, awesome. But if you need a true retirement plan that's going to be exactly tailored for you, we could be a good fit for that too.
Absolutely. I love that. Kristina, this next one is actually, it says Cynthia and Kristina. You have been doing this show for several years. Has the retirement outlook changed? Kristina?
Yes. We started this before COVID.
Yes, we did.
I mean, the world looks completely different. There are some things that are even better, and there are some things that are worse. I think that since COVID, inflation and debt have become much more of a concern. But number one, taxes.
Yes.
I'm being told that taxes are the biggest problem, and we just have to have that conversation, because if you do not get that tax bill paid, there's a possibility that you could run out of money in retirement.
Absolutely.
It's a big deal.
And I have to say as well, since we started doing the show, obviously we're seeing more and more questions regarding healthcare, the rising costs of healthcare. We didn't talk about that way back. I mean, we talked about it at a certain level, but now it's even escalated higher. Inflation, as you mentioned, taxes, and again, still the number one fear, running out of money. That really hasn't changed very much, has it?
I would say as an advisor, a lot of times, we tend to get focused on our favorite thing, which is the puzzle overall. Where does the money go to make it the best? That's my favorite thing to figure out. But I want to listen to your fears. I know what those risks are. The risks are still there. The perils in retirement. It's going to be the taxes, the volatility of the market, fees inside of the account. How much does it cost for you to have a guide or a Sherpa, an advisor? What about inflation? Last but not least, what about healthcare? That's the number one reason that I see retirement plans completely derail.
Talk a little bit about the retirement train, because that was a dream when we first started filming the show.
Oh my gosh, yes. This book is such a great pride and joy. It's different than any other financial book. Every single chapter is a different decade or stage in life, and it goes through what are some of the mistakes that you could have made and how do you correct them. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. This book is not for sale. There's an ISBN code. It's $15.99. We're not going to let you pay for that. Come by and get a complimentary copy. When you set an appointment with us, come in for a complimentary review, you're going to get a copy. We want to give you that information, bless you with that time, bless you with that information.
Absolutely. And Rob, what final words of wisdom do you have for our viewers at home today? We have about a minute, 15 seconds left.
Well, the book's going to cover everything from childhood to retirement to death, and it's really easy to read. It's going to be a very good thing for your entire family, not just for you. So there's going to be train stops in there that are going to be for everyone. So if you don't have all of the high fives in order, you don't have a holistic approach, come see us. We'd be proud to give you a full plan, give you the direction that you need, and help fulfill your needs in retirement. Make sure you don't run out of money, because that's going to be important. As Kristina has talked about, it's the number one and most important thing that we have out there. But we also have inflation that we've been dealing with as well, and that's putting a very big toll on a lot of retirees.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Rob. Kristina, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, most specifically, thank you for spending time with us today on Your Powerful Legacy TV. That number to call is 877-893-5099, or you can grab your smartphone, click on the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That'll take you right to the landing page of Powerful Legacy, and you can schedule your time accordingly. Have that holistic retirement plan done for you. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. We'll see you next week.